As we go down here, I'll mention that the lower floor is also equipped with many boats, outboard motors, and fishing exhibits, among other things. And you can take a look around at all of those.
This boat has quite a history, Chicago Lake, and it has quite a story as well. And it's amazing we know so much of the story. I was in the insurance business, and I insured a fella from Wells Bay up around the point here that remembers this boat as a child out fishing. It's a single cylinder engine and has a very unique putt, putt, putt sound to it with just a single cylinder. So if you ever heard one, you'd remember it. Well, Don knew the family that had this boat, and it passed down through generations in that family. As near as we can determine, it was built right around the turn of the century. We do know that it has a 1910 Roberts 3 horsepower motor, and we do know that that's a second motor. When we were working on the boat, we found different motor mounts where an original motor had been placed in there. The boat is cedar strip construction, and remarkably, it is 99% original wood. Just a few spots here we had to replace. Just incredible that it survived this long. One of the keys why it survived, I think it was hung by these davits underneath the covered boat lift. But how Don Wells acquired it, Booty Bay was being purchased by an outside interest, and the cottage owners over there had to get rid of their cottages, and they had this boat actually on a burn pile, ready to be burned. Don came over there and found the boat and took it to his house. He told me about it, and at about that same time, the Lawson Center was just in its planning stages, and I knew this would be a great boat for the Lawson Center. So after the Lawson Center got going, Don had since passed away, and went and talked to Mrs. Wells, and she was thrilled that we would restore this and have it as a feature display here at the Lawson Center. The boat had at least 10 layers of paint on it over the years. Remember, it's a 1900 boat, so over the years it would be painted different colors. We do have pictures of this boat, of the family from the 30s out fishing in it. It was the Ogren family, and Mrs. Wells still was in contact with a relative, a descendant rather, of the Ogrens, and he was just thrilled that we were going to restore this, and he gave us a written history to correspond with it as well. To describe the boat, as I said, it's a single cylinder boat. It's steered by these ropes here, which made it convenient for muskie fishing, which is what the family used it for. You can steer the boat from anywhere in the cockpit. This steering cable is clothesline. That's what came with the boat. We thought it was kind of neat. A historical note on the boat, we have a 1956 license plate from the lake that probably was last year the family used it. But this number 144 was on the boat, on both sides, caked with layers and layers of paint. Now, I had no idea what that meant, but then Ned Ward did research on these boats and found that there was a newspaper article from, I believe, 1905 that listed boat numbers 1 through 300. And our boat was named 144, and it was owned by a Mr. A. Kofod from Durant Street in Jamestown. It listed, so I went to the city directory at the Jamestown Fenton Museum and found this A. Kofod listed on Durant Street. His occupation was listed as woodworker. So I imagine he built this boat. We could find no serial number, no identification number on it, so it leads us to believe that it was a homemade boat.